Hello, this is Audrie Gordon, and I'd like to welcome you to day 12 of the 25 days of Copilots. This means we're halfway through, and so I wanted to take like a short breather on this 12th day and just talk about a particular concept, and that is keeping the that is in Copilot viable. Now, you may remember from the introduction, I talked a little bit about why we've named this Copilot, right? It helps to be a reminder as to the role of these Copilots. It is not intended to be used independently of humans, right? This brand new category of software, in my opinion, is a way of democratizing ability. It's a way of enabling us humans to be able to accomplish things in a more efficient manner, right? We talked in the intro about me being able to create art using AI when I couldn't create that type of art beforehand. So I got a new skill thanks to the Copilot. But one thing we want everyone to kind of keep in mind when it comes to responsible AI is to not allow Copilots to work independently of humans, and that means monitoring the outputs, the responses of the Copilot. We can talk about what we have at Microsoft. We've talked about the dirty dozen, the different biases that are included in GPT foundation models, GPT-like foundation models, and so we need to make sure that the responses we get are properly used, that they're accurate, they're not hallucinations, and so forth. So I just want to talk about a single feature today that is in support of responsible AI in every corporation. However, I've heard some controversy about it. So I just want to talk a little bit about it and kind of mention some options you have as well. So this is in alignment with what we call human in the loop. Human in the loop. And this, what you see on the screen, is a screenshot of the flow action called start and wait for an approval. And basically there's four things we want to keep in mind as we think about responsible AI, and that is compliance, right? Making sure that there's oversight on what is being generated and how it's being used and what those capabilities are. Making sure that the text, that if it's going to end up, especially if it's going to end up in an output that might be seen by your customers, or maybe that output may have to live up to certain geographical or legal compliance standards, you need to have a human kind of looking at this and saying it's good, it's not good. And then the way we've put this particular feature together is to enable those in the humans in the loop to even see something before it is in a final state, but also that they can edit it, and there's a record of this. Now, I've demonstrated this already in the overview, so I won't spend a lot of time. Normally it comes up to the top. If you don't see it, just click see more, and I'm just going to use the first one here. Now I'm going to take the prompt dynamically from the trigger. Again, the trigger can be anything, but I've decided this is how I'm going to collect this as a trigger. It could be a form, it could be anything. All right, value. And then I'm going to save. And you notice that there's a requirement here. The flow turka is alerting me here, and I have an error message. It says the create text with GPT action doesn't have a content approval action after it. Add a start and a wait for approval of text action after the create text with GPT. Let someone manually review. And so we did talk about this, I believe, on day 3 or 4. But I'm going to add it now because this flow won't even let me proceed without adding this approval. If you have never used this environment before, there will be a wait for the provisioning of the database because this leverages Dataverse for the approvals. So there it is. Just remember to keep in mind that it's the approval of text. All right. This is a unique approval process that enables people to review the content. And I did show you examples of this. So in Power Automate, the approvals will show up under approvals, but they will also show up in your emails. And this might be an example. Okay, so this is an example, although this prompt didn't return anything but -8, right? So whatever the prompt was, it returned -8 inches, right? So at this point, I can say I approve this or not, or approve, reject, and I can even say why. All of this data, like whether or not I approved it, what I thought about what I did as far as comments, is all being saved in Dataverse. And this can be helpful with compliance when you are asked how are you using your AI, right? You can pull this information from Dataverse. But I think the most important thing that I wanted to leave you with today, it's more of a responsible AI thing than it is a feature, even though the goal of it is to be a feature that helps you with responsible AI. It is thinking a lot about compliance and thinking about what we're hearing as far as AI and how important it is to not allow AI to run rampant without some human, right? And with Power Automate, if I didn't have this requirement, I could take this prompt response and post it to Twitter, potentially releasing inaccurate information to the public. And I will say to those of you that have given comments, continue to comment on this on the Power Apps Ideas Forum. I will provide a link for you so that you can give your thoughts. I do know that many people are understanding that that's a requirement, and they are finding ways to do that in many different areas. And so I just wanted to take time in the middle of this 25 days to kind of say, this is a big deal. It's not a little thing, right? It's really important to monitor the responses before they are allowed to propagate without a human sight. So I don't know. These features are all, in a preview state, but I don't know if it will change, but I do know it has value, and I wanted to share that with you. There is value here. You can also use Azure AI services if you don't want to do the approval. That would be an alternative way. Or you can do what we did earlier this week, and that's use a Power Apps app where the response is displayed on the screen. At least in that case, you also know there's a human involved in what button is pressed next, right? And so just wanted to take a few minutes and kind of call that out before we continue, that human in the loop monitoring of any Copilot response is a priority when it comes to responsible AI. How you do it in your business is entirely up to you, but we are extending our capabilities so to make it easier for you to see and action contributions coming from Copilots. All right, and so there'll be more about this throughout the 25 days. I just wanted to leave you with that thought that in the loop human reviews are really critical to the success of Copilots, because they really are not intended to be leveraged independently of human oversight. So leaving you with that thought today and encouraging you to add comments to the Ideas Forum. I will put a link in the chat about the Ideas Forum so you'll know basically where you can go and give this feedback. But I would keep it in mind. Think about it. Let us know what you think. We're open to hearing your thoughts in the Ideas Forum, and I'll actually provide a link to the Ideas Forum for you to add your contributions. And I hope you're enjoying the 25 days. We're halfway there. As we progress through these last 12, 13 days, you're going to see a little bit more scenario focused, and you're going to see more focus on the Copilot creation, even Copilot Studio. Daniel will be back to help us with that. And you'll also see some recaps from me as well as to the value and some new ideas as we continuously go through the series. But please keep us in the loop as to what you're thinking. Let us know. There's a survey on the aka.ms / 25 Days of Copilots page. If you click that survey, you can actually ask for what you specifically want to see, so that you can make sure you get the Copilot understanding that you'd like. I wish you the very best and a happy holiday, and I hope to see you tomorrow for day 13 of the 25 Days of Copilots. Thank you very much for watching.